What if I told you that your exhaustion, your resentment, the constant sense of not enough in your business isn't because you're doing too much? It's because you're giving your magic to people who were never meant to hold it. Now, here is a boundary and a truth that I had to come to in my own business that was not an easy one. To be honest, it felt deeply uncomfortable and even wrong for a little while when I first started. And here it is. I don't want to serve everyone, and neither should you. And this doesn't mean that you don't want to have a big impact. This doesn't mean that you don't want to change the world. But in this episode, we are going to talk about serving the right people and why that is so essential for your business and for your own health and well-being. So, welcome to Resourced. This is where we create businesses that nourish us from the inside out and where we stop apologizing for having standards and desires and boundaries around who gets access to our work and to our energy. Today's episode is a reclamation because I know that some of you listening right now, and I've had these conversations in my DMs, I've had these conversations in my mastermind. Some of you listening right now are tired. You are tired from serving clients who drain you. You are tired from over delivering in low ticket offers. You are tired of bending over backwards for people who never meet you in the energy that you are giving. And I see you because I have been there too. Somewhere along the way, so many of us, and maybe especially women, were taught that being good at what we do means being available for everyone. To be generous, to be accessible, to keep our prices affordable, to never turn anyone away. But what if that people pleasing, overgiving, martyr energy is the very thing that is keeping you stuck at the level that you're at, and the very thing that is actually causing your business to feel heavy and stressful, even though the little angel on your shoulder is saying, no, you're doing the right thing, helping everyone. So this is what we're going to talk more about today. We're going to talk about why you're not meant to serve everyone and why trying to serve everyone is actually draining you and draining your business. We're going to talk about the energetic cost of a low ticket over delivery loop. Now, let's be very clear. We are not dissing low ticket offers here, but we are going to be looking at the energetic exchange that comes with what you are delivering. And we're going to talk about how to create exclusive high caliber spaces that serve those who are ready, leaving you feeling spacious, leaving you feeling abundant and deeply fulfilled. And notice that I said high caliber, not necessarily high ticket. Now, I love high ticket offers, but I'm always focused on a high caliber space. So today is your permission slip to recalibrate your standards, to claim your worth, and to serve from a space of overflow, not from depletion. Now, if we have not met, my name is Jessica Reed. I am an intuitive business mentor and an alternative therapist. And for over 17 years, I have been an entrepreneur. I have been running businesses. And oh boy, I have made a lot of mistakes in that time. A lot of lessons that I am here to share as I guide soul-led entrepreneurs into businesses that feel as good as they look. Now, through all of this experience, there is something that I have really come to understand, and I really want to share this with you today. And that is that burnout doesn't come from just doing what you love. It comes from doing what you love for people who aren't energetically equipped to receive it. Ooh, let that sink in. You were never meant to exhaust yourself serving the masses. And I know that there is a good girl part of you, a beautiful heart that says, yes, I am. I'm here to help everyone. I want to change the lives of everyone. And I get this. When I first started my business and I was working a lot with anxiety and stress, and it's something that I had been through, the daily panic attacks, the agoraphobia, all the things that came with that anxiety. And I knew how debilitating it was. And I just wanted everyone to know how to help themselves. I wanted everyone to have some kind of relief. I wanted to help everyone. But here's the thing, and I had to learn this the hard way, and I learned this through doing work for free, from saying yes to people who were not ready to do the work that I was here to deliver. You are here to hold high frequency spaces for the few who are ready to rise and meet you there. And your next level, this is not about casting a wider net. This is about you building deeper containers and only inviting in the ones who can actually meet you there. Because I just want to help everyone, and I know your beautiful heart does, but it's draining you. So let's be honest. Who are you really serving by trying to serve everyone? Because I can guarantee that for most of you who have that, I want to help everyone, I want to serve everyone, there is an ego part of you, and maybe an inner child wounded part. Go back to last week's episode if you need to learn more about your inner child, that is actually driving this behavior. And this is where I want you to get radically honest with yourself. Are you saying yes to clients that you know aren't aligned because you're afraid of being judged? Maybe you're afraid of saying no. Maybe you're afraid of confrontation if you don't take on a client. Maybe you feel like just because they've come to you asking for the help or asking about the service, that you have to say yes. You don't. And sometimes you are actually doing someone a disservice by saying yes, because maybe that person's not ready. Maybe you are not the right person to help that person. Let your ego go to the side for a moment. Are you undercharging out of fear that people won't be able to afford you? Are you undercharging out of a societal narrative about how scarce resources are right now? And then are you resenting the fact that you have to do premium work for a minimum energetic exchange? That was a reflection of my first offer, my first membership. I threw everything into it. I showed up multiple times a week. I gave so much of myself for $37 a month. And that was a lesson. That was a lesson. Maybe you're filling your calendar with low ticket, high energy offers because you've convinced yourself that you actually need to stay accessible. Again, maybe everyone can benefit from your work. I'm going to drop a really hard truth bomb right now, and not everyone is ready to benefit from your work. Every person is on their own journey and their own timing. And just because they have the problem that you solve doesn't mean that they're ready to actually solve it for themselves. Because remember, it is not your job to fix them. It is your job to hold the space, to guide them through your processes for a desired outcome. So this shadow side of, I just want to help everyone, it is often coming from an unmet validation wound. Because if everyone loves us, no one can reject us, right? If everyone can access us, no one can accuse us of being too much or say we're too expensive or all those things that make us feel rejected. But at what cost is this coming? The cost of your energy, the cost of your joy? The cost is the depth and the spaciousness that you need to do your most potent work. So what if you stopped needing to be everyone's savior and became a sanctuary for the few who are actually ready to meet you in the depths? And do you know what else? Even just from a stress perspective, if you think about needing to serve 200, 300, 500 people in a membership to make it financially viable for you, think about having to find that many people, particularly if you're earlier in business, and the numbers that takes in terms of conversions, how many eyes you need on the sales page versus how many opt in, versus how many then turn up, versus how many actually convert and purchase. That is a lot. That is a lot. I have had so many conversations with mentees around their energy exchanges. And they start with, I have space for 20 therapy sessions a week is often a conversation, or I can fit 15 therapy sessions a week. And then, like I said, are they reoccurring? Are they, oh no, they could be one off. Okay. So let's say you've got 15 therapy session spaces a week, coaching session spaces a week, and people are coming in as a one off session. And that then means you've got 60 spaces in the month. You need to find 60 people versus putting your energy into an offer, into a way of delivering your transformation for that person that actually enables you to maybe only find 15 people and work with them weekly. And there is a big difference in terms of your energetic output at the very top end then in your marketing, in having to always be on, in having to always bring people in. This comes in looking at your energy and what you have to give, and again, your offer transformation. And it's going to be different for everyone. I'm not saying that you have to package your offers, but I'm saying that if you are feeling drained and resentful and exhausted, then let's look at where you are leaking energy. Low ticket offers are not necessarily the problem, but when you are giving a high touch, high caliber experience and high caliber energy in spaces that are designed to be low investment, then you create an unsustainable dynamic. And again, I have been there. I have been there over and over again until I learned the lesson in my body. And so this sneaks in ways like you are over delivering to overcompensate for charging less. You pile on bonuses that you have to then go and create rather than reusing resources that you already have to make it seem worth it. You energetically carry people who aren't ready to carry themselves. And that is what I want you to really feel into in your offers. In your story of, I just need to help everyone. I want to help everyone. I can help everyone. But what is it costing you to carry these people who are not ready yet? It doesn't mean they don't deserve help, but if they're not ready at the level that you're offering, then you don't need to be the one to help them. I had to learn the hard way not to convince people. Okay, it was not my job, and it is not your job, again, not to fix them, but it is also not your job to convince people, to convince them that they need to do that work, to convince them to work with you in that capacity. That is not your job. You want to be working with, if you are looking to honor your energy, you are looking to work with people who already have decided that they want that change. You don't need to convince them. So when these things are happening, suddenly you are working harder for your low ticket clients than your premium one. When you have yourself accessible all hours of the day in Voxer and you don't set boundaries as to when you respond. When you have yourself promising, I don't know, weekly deliverables in a low ticket membership that take you hours to create, and the financial reward starts to feel exchange starts to feel not worth it for you. And then you wonder why you're exhausted. Let's start looking at your offers. And this is something that you can actually do right now. You can go into my resources link in the show note and you can find the Soul Aligned Offer System. I think it's about $47 off the top of my head. That's Australian dollars. But you get instant access where I will walk you through my Soul Aligned Offer Framework, whether you are going to be analyzing your current offers from this lens of how do I create the highest transformation in the most effective way possible. Because do you know what? Giving more, adding more, delivering more doesn't necessarily equate to a bigger transformation. I have had a conversation with someone in the DMs just recently, and they said to me, and this was not a client, and they said to me, you have just given me more to work on and better feedback, more impactful feedback in this one conversation than my whole last 12 months with my business coach. Now, that was not delivered inside of an offer. That wasn't delivered by adding on 50,000 more bonuses or by adding on, and like we strategically place bonuses, talk about that in our offer creation, but it wasn't by me going, oh, I better give this person all of these resources. No, it was just a conversation. Sometimes the biggest transformations come from the most simplest things. And so when you're looking at your offers, when you're looking at high impact work that requires you to be well resourced, if you are giving over delivering in containers that don't have that reciprocal energetic exchange for you, and you get to decide what that is in your business. Because again, we're not necessarily talking about high ticket, although you can absolutely craft an irresistible high ticket offer with the soul aligned offer system. But we are talking about high caliber and an energetic match. So if you can create the transformation in the most, what container is going to be the best to create that transformation for that client? What container is going to be the best to get the results that you are promising? And then even look at different levels of access to you. Being resourced means charging what you need to hold the space powerfully and saying no when the container doesn't match the energy that you desire to give with it. And that is one of the things that we go back and we check in with in the soul aligned offer system. So again, you can access that straight away. That is a mini course. You can literally jump into it straight away. I think there is even currently an option in there for you to upgrade to a private offer review once you've done the work as well. That's optional, but go and review your offer suite. Go and apply this framework to your offers to really make sure that they are aligned for your energy and for the clients coming in, and that you're not just creating these offers because you feel like you need to please everybody and you feel like it's the right thing to do. The spaciousness is not necessarily found in doing less. It is found in doing the right work with the right people for the right investment. So here is what building a nourishing, high frequency business looks like in my eyes. You create containers that serve deeply, not widely. You calibrate your pricing to reflect the energetic exchange that is required to hold your clients at their highest level. And you create clear standards for who gets access to your time, to your energy, and to your expertise. And again, that could be coming in levels depending on your offer suite, depending on what is the right offer suite for your business. I shared a few weeks ago that my business is really structured based on my energetic strengths, based on my nervous system capacity, based on the season of life that I am in. You get to do that too. And if that's something that you would like to really look at, then you can do that in our mastermind. We can do that in a one-on-one container together. We can go really deep in that space, both into your business and your inner world, so that they match. But this is where your boldness comes in. You are allowed to serve the few. It does not make you selfish. It does not make you, oh, I don't know even what the words are right now. It doesn't make you a bad person, because you deserve to protect your energy, but your clients also deserve, the ones who are paying you for those high level transformations, they deserve to get that level of energy back from you. And if you are draining it out here, if you are leaking over here, you are not able to give in the way that they deserve. And that's not likely going to be in integrity with how you want to be delivering your transformations. You are also allowed to charge in alignment with the transformation that you provide people. And we're all working on that, right? And you are also allowed to say, this space isn't for everyone. And sometimes that's the best thing that you can do. I had a conversation with someone the other day who wanted to come into my mastermind. That is a nearly $10,000 container. And I don't think that she was ready. I don't think that from our conversation that her priorities in what she was working on right now aligned with the strategy and things that we work on in the mastermind as well. And I really felt that she was better suited to my upcoming Soul Led Success Academy. Now, this is a huge difference in investment. It's almost a $9,000 difference in investment. It wasn't about the money. It was about recognizing that at this point in time, the best way that I can serve this person with their needs is over here. Because not every space has to be for everyone. It is the same with my private spaces. They are extremely limited because of the depth that I go to in these spaces. The same in the mastermind. The depth that we go to is not for everyone. And I am so okay with that. In fact, I am owning that so much that my private spaces look completely different this year to how they did last year. Because I know that I hold something that goes so, so deep, and that work is not for everyone yet. And I know for me, the deeper I go, yes, the smaller the room becomes. And I had to let go of that ego part of me from a few years ago who felt maybe ashamed that there was only a small number in a launch, or ashamed that I didn't get 100 people when I only had an email list of 47. Thinking about that energetic output, oh my gosh. For me to have a 100-person launch, how many people would have needed to come to my launch event? How many people then would I have had to have reached on the opt-in page and get them to opt in? How many people would I have had to get eyes on the opt-in page? Building that out, we're talking about thousands to narrow down to that 100 conversion rate. And where my business was at that point in time, that my expectations weren't overly realistic because I was in this comparison space where I didn't want to be seen as not being as successful as someone else. They weren't realistic for me. There's something that became abundantly clear to me that I own now as I move through my business and I evolve within myself, is that for me, and I'll say it again, I just said it before, the deeper I go, the smaller the room becomes, but that is where my magic belongs. And maybe it's the same for you. Or maybe your offer is a wider net, but it's delivered in a way where the exchange is equitable. So that's something for you to really think about. And again, if you want to dive into your offers, you can access the soul aligned framework. It is just in the resources link below. And if you would like to explore the application form for my private mentorship, we have a retainer option where we can go really deep to align your business and your inner world. I also have a breakthrough intensive. Now, this is new and I don't know how long it'll be around for. As I record this, I'm excited about the breakthrough intensive. It is a one-off where we get in, we go deep, and we get out. That might suit you to dip your toe into this kind of work or dip your toe into working with me. So you can explore both of those in the offerings link below, or you can explore the soul aligned offer framework and go and really create these beautifully energetically aligned offers in the resources link below. Now, as you know, I don't like to end a podcast with, all right, see you later. I want you to be integrating. So I have some reflection questions here for those of you who would like to get out your journal and who would like to not just be consuming, but doing. So you might like to journal these, you might like to meditate on them, whatever your process is. I want you to ask yourself, where am I saying yes when my body is saying no? Where am I overgiving and undercharging out of fear of not being liked? And what would change if I built my business around serving the few who are ready to rise with me, to receive my gift, instead of trying to serve everyone? Yes, from my beautiful heart, I get it. I am empathetic too. But potentially also from those wounded mindsets of not being loved, not being accepted, not being a good person. Insert your story. So as you explore these, I want you to remember that you are not made to serve the masses. You were made to hold potent spaces for the few who are ready to rise with you. And the moment that you stop apologizing for your standards, everything expands. more ease, more impact, more abundance. This is how we build businesses that feel like home, that light us up instead of drain us, that feel spacious and supported and sacred. Now, I look forward to seeing you all again next week. Next week, we are going to be talking about whether or not the business that you are building aligns with your dreams or whether you're actually building someone else's dream business. So, that is going to be another juicy one. If this resonated with you, please pop over and say hi. I am on Instagram at jessica.reed.ilc, and I would love to hear your takeaways. I would love to hear whether or not you are going to continue to serve everyone. Notice the sensations in your body as you think about this, as you think about, again, we're not talking about niching in this right now. That's the strategy. We are talking about you protecting your energy so that you can deliver the most potent results. And that's going to feel icky. For some people, that's going to feel like a big, oh, for me, it was like in my stomach that I felt that. But you know what? It's going to be okay. I promise. So come over and share with me if this episode landed, and I look forward to seeing you next week.